Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would give you a little anxiety slash life update. I haven't made a YouTube video in a while. I had a really bad headache earlier today, so Sage Wellness sells the Peppermint Halo essential oil stick, and I just slathered it like on the back of my head, like back here and on my shoulders, and like it feels so nice. I forgot how much I loved that that oil, so I definitely want to pick up. I got like the mini one, so I definitely want to pick up a larger one and leave it at my desk at work, which your girl got a new job. I literally who gets a job during COVID? Like, is that even possible? Apparently it is, because I got one. But I'm really I'm really excited and happy, and a little shocked that this actually happened, especially because I just launched my candle business as well, so it was kind of like two things coming together all at once. But I've tried to create a schedule for myself. So obviously during the day I'm going to work 9 to 5 as a designer, and then in the evenings twice a week I work on orders and fulfillment to be shipped out. I'm gonna make another video talking about the candle stuff because I want this video to focus on me, obviously. And yeah, so new job, new business, same me. Can't wait to get my hair done again. I got my nails done. Like, I feel like things are just good right now. And I went through a pretty depressive state, which I did talk about in my vlog, which I'm not going to be posting. But I had some people in my cancer community pass away, and my grandmother also passed away, and she was my last living grandparent. So it was a really hard time at the end of July for me, and I think I was just really not in a good place, and it's taken a couple of weeks, I think, of just grieving and mourning for them, and now I feel like, you know, better about things. I think, you know, having a routine and going back to work also is part of that, but grieving doesn't have a schedule and it doesn't have the same face for everybody. So I've lost other friends from cancer that I've grieved differently for, or maybe shorter or longer, but just having like so many deaths, I think, in such a short period of time, like I think within a week and a half I had lost 3 people from my life. That was just a really hard thing for me to deal with, but I feel a lot better about it now. You know, therapy, all that stuff really helps. It's been a year, I guess, since I've started my anxiety medication now. I started last year in August when I got home from my trip to Europe. So yeah, it's been a year, and a lot has, you know, happened. I've done a lot, and I've grown a lot, I think, and the anxiety has stayed with me, obviously, but the medication has really made a huge difference to my life. So just generally speaking, I feel a lot more relaxed. I feel like the edge of being almost like paranoid and anxious all the time has been taken away. I'm able to sleep better. I'm able to focus better. I still have anxiety, and some times in my life are worse than others. Like during COVID at the very beginning and middle, I was really anxious about a lot of stuff, and I did change my dosage from the 2 pills a day to 3 pills a day, and that helped me for a couple of months, and then I went back down to 2 pills because I felt like I had kind of like leveled out. And I don't recommend you do changes in your dosage without speaking to your doctors or your team. I spoke to my psychiatrist, and we both deemed it like safe to do that, so I did it. But I did play around with the dosage a little bit, but now I'm back to the 2 pills, and I feel just like very clear-minded and very present and aware, and I don't have these like things trifling through my mind all the time. Still working on the not being a bitch all the time part. That my bitchiness has been a little more active lately, I would say. I was talking to somebody who I mentor, or who I connected with through Yak, and she had some questions about anxiety that I thought were really great, and I've never really like answered any questions about it like on YouTube, and so I thought I would read out her questions as well as some other questions for people, just to get like a better idea of what being on anxiety medication is like. I am on a certain kind of medication, so if you're on a different kind, I can't speak to how you feel or how those side effects could be, or how you're feeling in general. But I'm on venlafaxine, and I take 2 pills a day, which is 70 0.5 milligrams, 0.75, I think. Okay, so first question is, do you feel differently immediately after taking the medication, or is it more of a gradual change? I definitely say it's a gradual change. I really noticed it after maybe like a few weeks, like maybe 3 weeks, I really noticed myself start to feel different. The next question, which I guess is like a sub part of the first question, is how do you know that the medication is working? I know that it's working because I feel lighter, I feel happier, I feel like there's less weight on my shoulders. Like physically I feel like I can take a breath again, and I find like my body has responded really well to it too. Like I just don't feel like I'm like tense like this all the time. Like sometimes I still am, but I feel like generally like I am a lot more relaxed, and like when I go to sleep at night I don't feel like I'm tensing up because I'm thinking or getting anxious about something. So for me, that's how I know. Like it really, the best way for me to say it is it takes that edge off. Is it a mood changer or more of just a mood balancer? I definitely say it's a mood balancer. I haven't noticed my mood has changed unless like I'm going through like an episode or something. But generally speaking, I feel just like leveled out. But I still am a bitch sometimes, and I'll be the first one to admit that. Do you still dream? Because my sister-in-law doesn't when she takes her anxiety medication. That's a really good question. I do still have dreams, although I don't always remember them, but sometimes I wake up and I'm like, that was a weird dream. Oh no, I lost my spot. I think a good thing to do is just keep a dream diary and see if you notice that things are changing for you. Next question is, do they affect your appetite, weight gain, weight loss? So it did affect my appetite, but more like it made me feel more relaxed, so I wasn't like anxious eating all the time. I feel like before I would either anxious eat or anxious not eat, and like make myself like feel like sick. Again, that could just be a me thing too. Maybe my body has just leveled out by itself. Okay, next question is, does the medication have any negative side effects you can pinpoint in mood as well as anywhere, from not having the same range of basic emotions to say loss of sex drive? So basically she's asking like, what are the negative side effects, and can you pinpoint any that are related to emotion as well as mood? Nothing's too personal for me. I'll literally talk about poop if you guys want to, so just let me know. I personally haven't had any negative side effects. The only thing for me that I notice is if I take the medication too late in the day, I find that I can't sleep as well at night. And I do take a few medications, so it might be just a combination, but for me, the best time I figured to take them is right in the morning when I get up. They're in my system for the day, and then when I get ready for bed at night and I, you know, go to bed, I can fall asleep. So when I was testing out when to take them, that was one thing that I did notice, is the later you take them, the harder it is to fall asleep. In terms of emotions, generally speaking, I've had all of the same emotions. I don't think that I've really changed my emotions that much. Like maybe I'm just more like calm, but I think otherwise I've been normal. Sex drive. So I can definitely tell you that I'm gonna make a video about this because there's a lot to talk about that. When I was doing my treatment for cancer and then the few years following it, like that was like zero. Like libido gone, sex drive gone, everything was like flat as a pancake, like literally like nothing. And then part of that was that my hormones were definitely like messed up, and my body was a lot different. And like just, yeah, it had different forms and functions as before cancer. So now that I'm on like thyroid medication, I'm on birth control for the hormones. I'm not dating anyone or anything right now, so I'm not worried about getting pregnant, but I'm on it for the hormones because I didn't want to take individual hormone pills. And then I'm on the thyroid medication. And so the combination of the thyroid and the birth control with the anxiety aside has helped level out the libido and sex drive. So I feel like it's kind of back to normal now. There are still some like body things that aren't back to normal, like dryness, which we can talk about in another video because I think it's very important, but not in this one. So in terms of just like being in the mood, like that will be there, but you know, other things won't be. So the anxiety medication for me personally hasn't affected any of that stuff. Maybe it's even made it better. Does the medication react with alcohol? Say you wanted to have a night out or something, would you have to not take your medication? Personally, I haven't noticed it's had any effect with alcohol. There's nothing on the bottle that says don't take with alcohol. Let me just check that. Okay, so the bottle says take with food, swallow whole, may cause drowsiness or dizziness, and do not stop treatment without medical supervision. So it has nothing to do with the effects on alcohol. Again, I take my medication right in the morning, so if I did have any drinks in the evening or if I went out with friends or something, I don't really drink anymore, but if I did, it wouldn't affect it because there's a big time difference in between, I believe. But you can talk to your doctor about that in more detail. Next question is, how do you know you feel less anxious or depressed? Like what are the pointers to you to know it's making a difference, and what scale of difference would you say it is? That's a long question. I think for me personally, it's been a total shift. Before the medication, I felt really heavy and grumpy and anxious, and I was cranky and just like really not a nice person to be around. I still have those moments, but they're generally much, much better. I feel like before the medication, I didn't really have that sense of joy in my body or relaxation or comfort. And so the first thing that I really noticed when I started taking them and they had settled into my system was that edge of feeling like was gone. And I finally felt like I could go from being like this to just like taking in a deep breath and like straightening my posture. Like I just felt overall like I was more myself again. And I talk about this a lot with people. Medication isn't a crutch. Because you have to go on medication, it doesn't mean that you're not strong enough. It just means that you need a little bit of help, and there's nothing wrong with getting that help. If you're unhappy or feeling sick, or your disability or disorder is having an impact on your life, then I think that you should consider medication, because I wouldn't want to live the rest of my life being like how I was, you know, a year or 2 years ago. Like I wouldn't want to be that person for the rest of my life. I want to be happy, and I want to laugh, and I want to feel like joy, and that I can breathe again, and that I'm not just inside my head all the time. So for me, there's really no price or pride suffrage for me to tell people, yeah, I'm on anxiety medication. It doesn't make me less human. It doesn't make me less worthy of myself and who I am in this world. And if anything, I feel like I respect myself so much better now, because admitting that I needed help and not trying to be like, I'm fine, like admitting that I'm not okay and I need some help right now, actually I think is more brave and showing that you are strong by admitting that, you know, I'm not okay right now, and I want something to help me. So I really encourage you, if you're feeling any kind of anxiety, like whatever it could be, and it's affecting your life overall, talk to your doctor, go see a therapist, and really try and get to the bottom of what's causing that. You know, I think that if everyone went to therapy, the world would be like a happier place, and we'd all be a lot happier, because we wouldn't be holding on to all of that suffrage inside. That was a really long tangent, but basically I felt like shit before, and I feel a lot better now. And the last question is, have you done any research on how the medication could affect you in the long run? Will it make your brain chemicals rely on it, and how does that work? Okay, so I wrote some notes on this. So I'm just gonna read them out so I don't get it wrong. So what my psychiatrist told me was that if I wanted to go off the medication in the future, I could, but you have to ease off it like most medications, because when you cold stop a medication, your body almost goes into like a state of shock, like if you were coming off of a drug, where it's like you feel like you have the flu, you get the sweats and you get cold, and you feel like you have a fever, and like you're dizzy and you might feel nauseous and stuff like that. So definitely if you're going to come off them, I would recommend doing it slowly. And then she said that once you do that, you'll be able to tell if your body can survive without the medication or not. Basically, like you see how well your body can hold itself up without the added help of that medication. I don't know more than that at this time. I haven't really talked to about my therapist. I don't plan on coming off this medication anytime soon, but if you did, just talk to your doctors and the team and see what they say. I definitely think that the body could become reliant on medication, but personally that's something I'm willing to risk for this new life that I'm trying to, you know, live. So for me, if I have to take this for the rest of my life to be happy, I'm totally 100% fine with that. That's the price to pay for happiness, that I'm friggin' like, I'm good with it. Like some people have to be on like major medications for their heart, or if they have diabetes, or if they still have active cancer for the rest of their life. So I'm willing to be on this medication for the rest of my life. I'm definitely gonna have to be on all the other hormone thyroid ones for the rest of my life. So what's one more medication? And I don't really want to take the risk of regressing backwards if I come off the medication and my body is like, oh, like I can't survive without this. Like it doesn't bother me at all. Anyway, so that's basically it for the questions and the anxiety update and life update. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and let me know in the comments below if you want another anxiety video, if you have more questions for me, or if there's something that I missed in this video that you want to touch base on. If you'd like to shop my candle collection, I will also link it down below, and I'll put the website here. It's simpleritualcandles.ca, and I have a really large collection of vintage glasses on there, as well as some traveler tins. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Bye!